Welcome to the session recap for Smell of the Game. This was a long, big track. A lot of different vocal parts. Whenever I thought I was done, I would always find a new part. I would like go back and listen to the original and be like, oh, they're doing this there, doing there, and they're doing that there. There's so many layers. And anyway, without further ado, let's just hear the vocals by themselves. Here we go.
I know who I am. The moonlit lake told me this is who you are. My fangs are so long, my nails are sharper than ice. That is me. I wonder what that will prove. That is bullshit blazing. Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new world order. You soon you will know. We already know the smell of the game.
Okay, so for this first part, let's see here. I have the lead vocal here, and I did something that I don't normally do, is that I really wanted it to cut through the mix. I wanted to have a lot of low end, so I didn't just throw in the Howard Benson plugin like I normally do. What I did was I used a different sort of approach to really like level it out, compress it, and try to get as much sort of bottom oomph. So I used a multi-band limiter to really make sure that this like really leveled things out. This is like a super dynamic track. The lead vocals, they're very dynamic. So I wanted to smooth everything out as much as possible. So as you can see, like it's really stepping on the mid-range. It's touching a little bit here. And I think I even have a little bit of gain here on the high end. I really wanted to step in that low mid area just to make sure that's all pressed down. It's just really smooth. I set the release a little bit slower, in the medium, like average attack. And for the higher end, I set the attack a little bit quicker and much faster release, just so it didn't like press on it too much. Because if you press on this high end range too much, like this here, that's gonna you're gonna start to lose sparkle and intelligibility. Well, sparkle and airs up here, but this is like intelligibility. Anyway, so this is the first step. Second step was I used upward compression. What upward compression does is like regular compressors, they compress top down. Anything above a certain threshold, it will do it. It will, squish it down, squish it down. What this does, it says everything from that's really low, it's going to bring up past, to a certain threshold. So it brings up the quieter parts. And that tends to give you a little bit more bottom end, a little bit thicker. So I used upward compression as the second part of this vocal plugin. Third, I used my favorite Howard Benson plugin. I got the de-esser on. I used the vocal channel, Howard Benson vocal channel multiplier, because it has the multiplier on. And I used the de-esser. I didn't touch this. I pretty much left all the settings. The only thing I did was just kind of like move this around until it started just hitting yellow. Okay, so the next thing was the double. I did the same thing. I used the multi-band compression. I used the C1 upward compressor, and then I used this thing pretty dry. It's just dry track, no reverb. And then, in my opinion, this whole mix, this whole vocal mix is probably, in my opinion, one of my worst. I think was because I really wanted to get to the finish line, and I kind of rushed it, and I was kind of pressed, and I was doing it during the holidays. I had family in town, so I kind of just wanted to get it done. I listened to the video that I put out, and I think, I really thank everyone that has put up kind words. But you're your own worst critic, so you listen to these things. So I can't help but hear like, well, some of the low end growls are like way too loud in that middle part, and then when the vocals come in right off the bat, the double's way too loud, and the double's super sloppy. I just ran out of gas, just trying to get this thing out the door. So what I mean by super sloppy is just if you listen to it, they're just kind of sloppy.
I know who I am.
Like the who part, they like I don't even pronounce who like the same way each thing.
I know who I am.
One goes hell and one goes who, and it's just like it's not the proper way to do doubles. I keep pressing. Okay, I've been playing like too much Cry of Fear. Like I'm pressing the wrong keys here. Got to get my Pro Tools hotkey mine back on. Okay, what's next? All the backing vocals are the same. They're all pretty dry, except for the mid range. I really wanted these to kind of like have this heavenly backing.
That is bullshit blazing. Still my heart is
These ones.
blazing. Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new world order. You.
In my opinion, those are the biggest thing that differentiates my version from the original. These harmonies don't exist in the original, and I heard like a really in the original they had a real tough. It was sung in a real tough guy manner. There wasn't a lot of anything to really give that chorus a hook, and I really wanted to give it a hook, and I felt that adding some of these extra harmonies really gave it a hook. So that's why I did that. Anyway, and
I wonder what that will prove.
yep, that's just the talking part that only exists on its own little track in a Howard Benson lo-fi. I just pressed the. I didn't even. Man, I just left it blank. I didn't do anything except bring the input in, and then
I wonder
I
what
probably could have even. Oh yeah, there we go. I was gonna say I probably could have got it to the yellow, but I did get it to the yellow. Anyway, let's move on. Oops. I try not to make these things boring, but sometimes like I just geek out.
Do you know who you are when you speak your words? Don't sound like your own. You're trapped in a dark cell created by this world. That is who you are. Nothing is rules and guidelines must be kept so time to wake up. Gravity keeps us on the ground.
Okay, so I'll just keep playing that.
That is bullshit blazing. Still my heart is blazing. If I lose my wings, I don't need a new world order. You can't feel a thing. We already know the smell of the game. Remember, you are blazing. Still your heart is blazing. If the words made you, I don't need a new soon you will know. We already know the smell of the game.
Okay, so this is one of the parts where I think that these low things were too high.
When you speak your words, don't sound like your own.
I had this one way too loud. But anyway, not that big a deal. These are just low screams that I have on the Howard Benson plugin. Again, I used a Gerard Growl vocals with effects. It worked just fine. I didn't even change anything.
When you speak your words, don't like your own.
I thought it'd be cute to kind of like pan it left and right here.
You speak your words,
Or right and left.
don't sound like your own.
I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cheeseball. I don't know.
Your own.
Then
You're trapped in a dark cell created by this world. It is who you are.
okay, so not too much like nothing crazy going on there. Just metal tough guy stuff. So one of the things I did deviate from was I think it was right here because he's saying it. So what happens here is the actual music changes here. So what he does, and he doesn't change the chorus at all. And like it sounds fine, but the thing is, he's not following what the guitars are doing chordally. If you hear it, I mean, maybe he is, but it's not leveraging. Right? He's not. I mean, if you hear that kind of stuff, if you can hear it, then you heard what I just did. And if it sounds the same, then cool. Because he goes, soon you will. And then I go, soon you will. Because you can hear the guitars going, soon you will. Soon you will know. Because right now, the original ones, he's going, soon you will know. Which is not bad. It's just, I wanted to groove with the guitar. Anyway.
Soon you will know. We already know the smell of the game.
Okay, and so when I got to this part, I was just like, what the frick? Like, what was they thinking? So I went into the Discord chat. I'm like, guys, I've never played this game before. Like, it's just about, what is this? Who am I? Or what am I part? Who am I? What am I?
What am I?
So I was just like, is this like a robot contemplating his own existence?
Mankind knew that they cannot change society.
So for this one on my part, I had it straight. It sounded corny. In the original, to me, it sounds corny. I could have done. I could have spent some more time like trying to get it sounded cooler. So what I did was I just threw everything to all these Who Am I parts to a vocal bus, and then I put on Murder Melodies by Slate, and I just started fiddling with knobs. Like I have this, this pitch shifter here, which is cool. All right. It just adds like a lower. So I just set it to -12 semitones. So there's like a lower octave. And then I just threw up like some dimension and motion and just started fooling with knobs. Until I was like, all right, it sounds cool, I guess. I don't really like this part that much. I guess I don't get it. And then for the talking part, I really wanted there to be clarity in the lyrics. So I tried to really compress it lightly, because I didn't want to lose intelligibility. So what I did was I put way more plugins as needs. Obviously, because I recorded this like way up on the mic, right? So I rolled off a lot of the low end mud, not mud, but just some of the rumble that would detract from the intelligibility of what I'm trying to say. And then I just did a broadcaster setting on a compressor, because it's a talking part. I threw a clipper on just to give it more beef. And then I just started using EQ and then I listened to it as the music was playing and started just kind of like sweeping that yellow frequency until I was like, okay, I can hear it and it sounds affected. That was my two thing. I wanted it to sound like it was kind of slightly lo-fi, like it was going through like an old radio broadcast, and I wanted people to hear it. And that's what I kind of decided on. It wouldn't be perfect. It's not perfect in the original. You can't hear exactly what he's saying in the original unless you knew, like, unless you played the game, because that phrase obviously gets plastered everywhere before each fight. And then I just finally put another clipper on there just to make sure that all the crazy stuff I did didn't make it go out of control. Volume wise. That's the one on my part. It's weird. So.
What am I? What am I? What am I? Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts. But they found beauty in the lives of beasts and couldn't lie to themselves about it.
Okay, that was me. Trying to give a passionate pitch. Okay, here's the last parts.
I'm just a small part of the world, but no one can break me.
I have this low gutter. And I was like, I was trying to like channel my my best Slaughter to Prevail vocals, which I came nowhere near close. I would love to be able to do that, and without thrashing my voice. I'm sure that guy can do it without thrashing his voice, but I don't know the secret sauce, the secret technique. Let's move along.
Can't you see I'm blazing? Still my heart is blazing. If the words killed me, I don't need a new one. Oh, yeah. My tribe is my world. Your words will never make me disappear. That is bullshit blazing. Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new one. Oh, yeah. Son, you will know. We already know the smell of the. Know the smell of the. Know the smell of the. Know the smell of the game.
So in this part where he comes in right here,
I'm blazing.
it's a little more intimate. In the original, he just goes full bore, full singing. I wanted it to be a little closer, a little, break it down, give it somewhere to go. So I do just the single vocal, and then the last half. That's when it's just one vocal, not even a double, and then a lower octave and not a double of that low octave, and then the doubles come in. So at the halfway through, the lead double comes in, and then the lead octave double comes in. So it goes boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So that was my kind of thought process on that. And then they have this cool ending. That's know the smell of the game. Yeah, that's it, man. Not too much. I know these things can be boring, but I still hear that people get some stuff out of this. And I really like it. I really like showing, because this is, something I'm super interested in. I really appreciate everyone being so supportive of the channel and, buying merch, and the donations have been awesome. So like, just thank you so much. I plan to just keep putting out more content. But your feedback and comments and, purchases and stuff like that really goes to a good cause, like my family, and helps pay the bills and helps me do what I do. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.